Today I wanted to explain to you the fastest way possible to climb on League of Legends. And if you seriously consider to do so, then just follow my guidelines and I think you will be fine. So, I think either one-tricking or two-tricking is the way to go in League of Legends. And why that is the case, I will be covering later. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a Trinity mid lane main, and I also like to play Kassadin sometime. So in that scenario, I'd say I'm a two-trick. Let's look at the win rates here. I have 65% win rate on my Trinity and 64% win rate on my Kassadin. That means overall, in about 150 something games, I have a 65% win rate on these champions, which is pretty damn good in Diamond. So the thing here is, though, I'm an idiot, and so are you sometimes. I don't only play the champions I'm good at. I pick random stuff I don't know how to play because either I'm bored, either I'm autofilled, or I just feel like it. If you seriously consider climbing, then don't do that. Let's look at the stats as well. I have played 24 different champions with these two. And the thing here is I played over 100 games and I have only a win rate of 47%. Which means I wasted over 100 games with not gaining elo. So now that we have that out of the way, the thing is, why would you want to two-trick or one-trick? If you have complete mastery over your champion, then you have brain capacity open to focus on macro play. Macro play is very, very important in League of Legends, and people like to autopilot a lot. They just play their game, they just do their stuff, they don't think about the game actively, and that's what you should do. And one-tricking or two-tricking helps with that immensely, because you can focus on macro and not on how to play your champion, because you know how to. Easily as that. You have muscle memory, and your muscles know what to do. You just need to think about what to do, and that's what you want to focus on. Also, League is a very repetitive game. Each game is within a more or less same scenario, and the only thing that differs are the 4 random people playing with you, the champs they play, and the enemy team. You are the only consistent player on your team, and if you perform on a consistently high level, you will climb. The thing is, don't put yourself at a disadvantage from the get-go. There's something called Champion Select, and some games are already lost in Champion Select, because either you pick the wrong champion or people tilt and flame. I'll get to that a little bit later as well. So, mentality is key. Why is that so? Because if you have a negative mentality going into the game or meanwhile, it will affect your performance. And you don't want that. You want to perform at your highest level all the time. You don't want to autopilot, you want to focus on the game. And the chat and teammates typing always interfere with that. So my recommendation to you is mute your teammates. Pings are a very powerful tool to use because you can say all the important stuff you want to say in pings. You don't need to type, you don't need to waste time, and you don't need to offend anybody while doing so. And that's very good. Just don't spam ping because probably tilts teammates, you know, and that's not good. And you have to think about also, not every game is winnable. Even very high smurfs who go into a new account, they lose games. They don't have 100% win rate if they play solo queue. They have like 85, maybe 90%, because not every game is winnable. That means don't tilt over every loss, because sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes you just have a 0-10 bot lane and maybe the enemy Kai'Sa just one-shots you and you can't do anything about that, even though you played pretty well. The thing is, don't tilt over your teammates, because you yourself are the only constant variable in your games, and if you perform on a high level constantly, consistently, you will climb and gain LP. Now, I wanted to go over why I think two-tricking might be a little bit better than one-tricking. The thing is, if you pick something that's in the meta, it will probably either get banned or picked. So if you one-trick something that's not completely out of the meta, you won't get it every single select. And that's a problem, because you have to either dodge more games or pick champions who don't know how to play. That's why I like two-tricking, because you have more options. You can fall back to another champion. And also, there's matchups. you have champions who do very well into every single matchup, maybe Orianna, or maybe you're a jungle main, then you can play whatever you want. But the thing is, if you play something like, let's say I play Kassadin, mid lane, and the opponent picks a Zed. It's a doable matchup, but I don't want to put myself at a disadvantage. I just pick Tryndamere into Zed. If I see him going Zed first, of course, if I blind pick it, then it's whatever. But if you see the enemy picking something, and then you can decide what to pick into that. And if you have two champions, you have more variety with the matchups. So I can decide whether to go Tryndamere or Kassadin, and I will definitely go Tryndamere into Zed, because you're invincible, he can't kill you. And it's a pretty easy laning phase. So that's why I think 2-tricking is a little bit better than 1-tricking. And also, I kind of get bored when I play the same champ over and over and over again, and I don't want to smurf, I just want to climb on my account. That's why I think 2-tricking is a little bit better as well, because you have a little bit of variety also in the things you do, you know? And the last thing I want to go through is dodging. The dodge mechanic is a very, very powerful tool. You get into champ select, and the first thing you do, this is still from the alt client, but that's whatever, you copy and paste the names of the people in your champ select and put it into a PGG. Then you just click on GG and it shows you the people you're playing with. That's the multi-search tool, and I think it's very, very useful because you can copy paste it and it doesn't take a lot of time. Then you can see, oh bro, holy shit, this guy is on a 9-game win streak. That's a free game. But if you see a guy on an 8-game lose streak, maybe he has 10% win rate in the last 9-10 games, and he has a very horrible overall win rate, maybe you should dodge the game. Maybe a guy is on a 40-50% win rate, not too bad, but he gets autofilled. He plays Cassiopeia, sure, Draven, sure, he's a mid lane main maybe, but suddenly he gets autofilled onto support, and he decides to play Alistar. He hasn't played Alistar once, but he suddenly decides to pick it. And that's bad, because you don't want first-timing people in your game. That's a dodge, because he will probably int-feed your bot lane and they go 0-10 and then you lose. So dodging gives you the ability to control which game you want to play. And that's very, very good, because you would lose like 18-something LP, and with dodging you lose 3. And losing 3 LP is kind of like, 3 LP is nothing compared to 18 or 20 LP. And even if you have to dodge a second time and wait for 30 minutes and you lose 10 LP, it's still better to lose 10 than 18. And you don't lose MMR points as well, because you're able to obtain a higher amount of LP and lose a smaller amount of LP per game with a higher MMR. And dodging doesn't affect that, so that's good. So that sums up pretty much everything I had to say. But before you go though, I wanted to tell you that I am kind of stuck between Diamond 3, Diamond 4. So my Master Series isn't going too well right now because I myself don't listen to my tips I just gave you. But I want to, and I wanted to do that on a new account, a new fresh account where I only play 2 champions. Tryndamere and Kassadin mid lane. If I don't get them, I dodge. If I don't get the role, I dodge. And I do an unranked to Diamond series right now for that. And after I get Diamond rather quickly, hopefully, and I hope under 60 games, I will do a grind to Masters. I also have a Twitch account, twitch.tv/UncleCrit, and I will be streaming the Unranked to Diamond series there. And if you want to come by, I will be streaming after this video goes live. So I will be happy to have you around, and see you then. Peace.